Hello YouTube! My name is Scott and welcome to another episode of Opinions No One Cares About. A video series that's usually much funnier than this one's going to be, let me tell you. So right around this time last year, I was taking a look at J.K. Rowling and her status as a TERF. It seemed odd to me that someone who was so anti-trans rights chose to work under either a gender-neutral or male pen name and had seemingly designed the Harry Potter books as a big gay parable. I wrote and produced a video to this effect and posted it, and then didn't really think that much more about it. But boy, should I have. Because I neglected to do some very important things, like, research. I made almost entirely off-the-cuff remarks without looking into things, and I think it's a good thing my channel was so small, or I probably would have spent the last year being vilified. I'm making this video for anyone who comes across the first one and thinks I might have somehow been coming out in support of She Who Must Not Be Named, or, if you prefer, Lady Voldemort. And I'd like to add, I don't have any excuses for the way the video came out, except laziness. Asking questions without bothering to research the answers myself is not the way I want to do things on this channel. I didn't even need to do that video. It was an off week between episodes, and this half-baked, non-researched idea popped into my head, and apparently I needed to rush it out so that my next video, which was just an apology because I didn't have any good ideas that week, would be on time. Even saying that now makes no sense, and it apparently took me like a year to realize that. But, as is my way, I'm getting off topic. So, let's take a look at the things I said. I started off by talking about her name. I'm sure Rowling has a good reason to not go by Joanne or Joanne K. Rowling, and I'm also sure it's out there on the internet somewhere, but I'm far too lazy to look it up, and not doing so actually helps prove my point. So here, we have a woman who cares way too much about the gender identity of others while maintaining gender neutrality with her pen name. It turns out there was a really easy answer for this. She wasn't trying to be gender neutral. Her publishers were. Sort of. They had this idea that little boys may not want to read a book written by a woman, and is that a thing? How many little boys are out there looking at a book and saying, ew, I don't want to read this book, a girl wrote it? Like, I'm dead serious. Is that a thing? I have a son, and he doesn't like to read at all, but the author's gender doesn't factor into whether or not he's going to pick up a book. The ratio of words to pictures do. But anyway, Rowling's publishers latched onto that idea and asked her if she would go by 2 initials instead. She agreed, and having no middle name, added the K for her grandmother Kathleen, and oh, what a nice story. She changed her name to appear more masculine, or at least neutral, and now rails against people who want to change themselves physically, presumably, without recognizing the irony. Or fully recognizing it and not caring. Probably the latter, because when you have as much money as she has, you can gleefully ignore whatever you want. Next, I talked about her other pen name, because it doesn't matter which name she writes under, there's controversy. And boy, is this a big one. Robert Galbraith is a pseudonym of J.K. Rowling's. That's right, the woman with such negative views about women who are born women but want to be men, was born a woman but works professionally and makes money under the guise of a man. Or a person of indiscriminate gender. Yeah, Lady Voldemort also goes by the name Robert Galbraith. It would be bad enough that she purposely has a male pseudonym while complaining about people who want to reassign their gender, but then there's this little wrinkle. This is Robert Galbraith Heath. He's widely considered as one of the fathers, as if that's something to be proud of gay conversion therapy. Now, she who shall absolutely be misnamed has sworn up and down that it's just a coincidence, but yeah. How exactly does one reconcile claiming that their pen name has nothing to do with a pioneer of conversion therapy, while also suggesting that hormone treatments for people who are transitioning is a kind of conversion therapy? I wrote that sentence and just read it out loud on a camera, and I have no idea. If you folks out there didn't want to be associated with something, wouldn't you keep from talking about it? Or writing, since this was originally a tweet? Why would you invite the comparison at all if you've been insisting that there isn't one? I know what they say about assumptions, namely that they make an ass out of you and umption, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that when it comes to the inspiration behind her pen name, the Dork Lord was lying. Then there's the last bit. It would be kind of a long clip, so let me summarize. I claimed, which I stand by the way, that the Harry Potter story is a big gay parable. And I suggested that the idea of wizards dressing like muggles is analogous to that of trans people dressing to conform to the gender they were assigned at birth, which is why the wizards don't get it right or look normal, because that's not their normal. But I think the actions of you-know-who's a bigot have more than proved me wrong there. There is clearly no pro-trans agenda. Once again, something I could have figured out with research. Google is your friend when making videos like this, and I wasn't hanging out with it nearly enough. So at this point I want to explain why I wanted to make my thoughts on this clear. I have 3 children. My oldest was born female but wants to transition to male. And they're also a proud Slytherin. They've loved the Harry Potter books since the first time they read them, and could probably quote them at the drop of a sorting hat. And I want it known that I have zero respect for the author of some of my child's favorite books. A person who would take one look at them and immediately disparage them when they didn't do anything to deserve it besides try to live their life in a way that makes them happy? I'm their dad. I want them to be happy. And until Voldemort showed her true colors, I would have done anything to facilitate a meeting between the two of them if I thought it was possible. But not now. Not ever. And I almost decided to spend this entire video misgendering them, her. But misgendering is their game. I'm not going to play it. Now, at this point, I could just give up on Harry Potter. But like I said in my last video, it's necessary to separate the artist from the art, which is something that the fandom seems to have been gladly doing, even though Voldemort's out there spouting out her views. There are people across social media platforms creating Harry Potter-based artwork to this very day. Heck, this isn't even the first time I've mentioned it this season. Rowling may be an unapologetic TERF, but Harry Potter is not, unless I missed something that he said in one of the books, and I assure you I did not. We survived accusations of recruiting kids into Satanism, the ridiculousness of grown adults wanting to play Quidditch with brooms that don't fly. Hell, we even survived Cursed Child. So no, I won't be giving up on Harry Potter, and I don't think anyone else should either. If you just want to give up on you-know-who, no, the other one, then absolutely, be my guest. Just obliviate her from your mind. What? You see the shirt, right? Do you really think that I wouldn't have a wand? Alright, I've said my piece. I hope it cleared everything up for everyone. Didn't have that much fun with it, but it is a pretty serious topic. So I am out of here. And what better way to end than with a Harry Potter quote, even if it doesn't entirely fit. Mischief managed. What the hell? How did I... Damn, I am not a good wizard. Hey guys, so that's another video finished. I hope you liked it, or at the very least it cleared some stuff up for you. If you did, heck, even if you didn't, go ahead and do all the usual YouTube stuff down below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that little notification bell to let you know when I got another video coming out. And until next time, I have been Scott, and this has been Opinions No One Cares About. Everyone has opinions. This one was mine.